Here we are, Adelaide, South Australia. Before Christmas last year, we packed up Nandji too and travelled back to our home country of Australia for some much needed family and friend time. We had been away for over 2 years and honestly, we felt we needed a break from boat life for a bit. Plus, Tallula had lots of cousins to meet. We kept ourselves busy in Oz, enjoying what the countryside of Australia had to offer.
You got two instantly!
After years of green grass and palm trees, it is always a pleasant contrast to return to the harsh Australian bush and wildlife. Of course, we had a few adventures along the way. We took a luxury house on wheels onto the Sealink ferry across to Kangaroo Island, where we spent 2 weeks freezing cold and exploring the island with family for Christmas. Then packed up Nanna's car and drove 700 kilometres back to the coast to where I grew up, opened up our shipping container full of belongings from 10 years ago and subsequently went camping in a tent. It's good to remember where we started. Our time in Australia gave us everything that we were looking for. We filled up our cup with love and memories and were given the reminder of how good boat life really is. With a fresh new outlook and now full of determination once more to get Nandji 2 ready for the big year of sailing ahead, it is back on the plane to Thailand to get back to our floating home and the Marley Man.
Pretty exciting morning. We're about to go and pick little Marley Man up. He's been at a doggy resort and I'm sure he's got lots of tales to tell because he's had a little Jack Russell friend that he's been hanging out with there, and so we've been getting little updates of him and how he's going, and yeah, it looks like he's been having a ball, but we really want him back. We miss him and we're off to go and pick him up today. It's been, yeah, that's the hardest part about going to see family, is that we can't always bring Marley with us. Yeah, so yeah, let's go and get Marley Man.
Yes! We just saw the van go past, we stopped for coffee and then Marley just drove past. She's messaging me now. Coming! Hello, buddy! Hello, mate.
Oh, good boy.
Buddy. Oh, he's a good boy. Good to be back, buddy. Hello, grass.
We got back to the boat last night. It's so good to be back on board again, but boy, do we have a lot of work ahead of us. It stinks! It's been locked up for a long time, so yeah, we've got a lot of cleaning ahead of us. I reckon I'm going to tackle downstairs.
And I'm going upstairs into the cockpit because the cockpit actually copped a hammering with the shades up. It's really good. There's no bird poo or nothing, but it did create a little bit of that black surface mould in the cockpit.
Yeah, so we got lots of vinegar, lots of bleach, and lots of scrubbing to do. I'm going to start on the saloon area. I've got a bottle of 50-50 with vinegar and water. I'm just going to wet it all, leave it there for a few minutes, and then wipe it off. That stinks so bad.
Poor old Larry the lemongrass has seen better days. We were wondering about when we left whether we should have kept Larry or handed him on to the next people, but we wanted to keep him. We did like having the lemongrass. It was good cooking with, you know, get rid of the bugs. But it's a pretty harsh environment trying to grow a plant on the back of a boat. Aloe vera seems to be bloody loving life. But old Larry here, we'll see if we can't get him back. I reckon he'll grow back again. We'll just cut out all the dead stuff and give him heaps of water. And I reckon in a week's time, we've got lemongrass again. Grow, my precious. There you go, grow.
I've washed all the walls and the roof on the boat, and now I'm up to the clothes part. I'm going to start unpacking our stuff, and the clothes that were left on the boat, they don't smell very good at all. I'm going to have to pack everything up and then take it down to the laundromat and wash everything. It's such a huge job. I won't be able to hand wash it all by myself if I want to have a life as well. Just going through everything, doing a smell test and packing them up. Hopefully I can colour a little bit of it while I'm at it. Unwrap it all. And then go under. Let's go under the cubby. Under.
And we're going
Right. One issue we've got now that we're back is, you know, when you leave a boat, your pumps sort of dry out, and this is an original pump that is to the boat, and we've had previous problems with this pump. It's the shower pump out. See, it's super old school, but it's tripping the fuse at the moment when you try to run it, and there's definitely power going to the motor, so I think the motor is seized. So we can either take off this little 12-volt motor and try to get it rewound, repaired, which is probably the best solution, I think. Or we can replace it with a new pump, like the shower bilge in the forward head. Currently, there's some issue because that drains straight into the bilge, where there is a sump pump for that shower area. So that's currently not getting used. So we can just use the back shower if I take that pump, which is what I'm thinking. So the thing about boat parts is, like, this thing is so old school, but to buy like the sump pump that's up the front there, a sucker pump, you know, they're like $500. It's just so expensive, boat stuff. And we are really counting pennies at the moment as we try to do a heap of boat work. You know, we've got to replace our rigging, which is very important for heading offshore this year. Yeah. Fixing in?
Yes.
Alright. Nice and tight?
Yes.
Good job. Alright, well done. Okay, good job. Fixed him. Our bilge is very deep and we can't access it underneath the generator and the motor. There is a spot underneath the stairs where there's one bilge pump and the other bilge is underneath the generator, and we can't access that area. And so the previous owner, or someone along the line, had put in a shower pump out. They've used it here, they've rigged it up to be used as a bilge pump because you can't get in underneath the generator. I'm going to take that pump because it's a shower pump, and we coincidentally, when we first fixed the bilge pumps, bought ourselves the new version. The shower pump out is basically just exactly this, except this here being a bilge pump, it has now an external cable that comes out the back, so you can run your cable down and then have an actual little sucker. So the pump doesn't actually be down submerged in the water, it's just this little head. Well, good news is she works, so I can definitely swap that pump out, but the plumbing side of things might be the interesting one. These are super old hoses. Oh geez. Hopefully they've got some springos.
I got this feeling, love is in season. Let's take a drive down to a place where affection grows, and your heart will know.
Alright, morning mission. We're off to the skate park. So at 7:30, starting the day well, aren't we? Yeah. Let's go.
And then a kiss. Ooh, we're the same.
Okay.
Our lives begin that day. We're the same. Our lives begin that day. Let's turn the lights low. Defy what we know.
Ooh, good job.
I've got a feeling we're not the first to cross this road.
When we left the boat, it was pretty barren. We got rid of all of our dry goods as well. So I've got all of my dry good containers here ready to go. I need to restock everything. I did give all the cupboards a big spring clean as well, even though they were already clean before we left. And I've also got to arrange the spice cupboard as well because it's a bit of a chaos in there at the moment. So.
When we left the boat, we tried to leave the fuel tanks as empty as possible. Generally it's good practice to leave them totally full, but I decided since they were pretty well empty and it was going to cost a boat buck to fill up the tanks, we decided that I'd just run them fully empty, and then when we got back here I was going to give them a clean. But you know, I've been thinking about it. Do I really need to clean them? We had no sort of signs of having any sort of diesel bug or any sort of issues, and both tanks are like barren dry now, and then both engines are running fine and the filters are clean, so I don't feel that there's the need to clean the tanks. So instead, let's just fill the tanks up. So we've got the fuel guy coming out shortly. Nice little service, so they come out to the boat here on the mooring, so even better, we don't have to move. And then once we've got heaps of diesel in the boat, we can give the boat a bit of a deep barnacle. So we do the old barnacle buster through the generator and through the motor, because looking at the keel and the hull, there's a few barneys going on, mate, and I haven't actually cleaned the cooling systems on the motor, or the generator, so I think it's time we did that. So this barnacle buster stuff, it's basically just phosphoric acid, although it's diluted. If you dilute it 4:1 like the instructions say, it'll be non-corrosive, so it's not going to destroy any of our parts internally, any of our iodes or zincs or any of that sort of business. It's biodegradable, so we can just flush it straight out into the ocean. All the videos that you watch online, this stuff makes a bloody big difference, so I'm super keen to do this and have Nandji 2 operating really nice. So then I reckon down the track we'll do the injectors on both motors, and then I think we're going to be looking pretty good, eh? Catch. Good catch. Catch. Whoa, how was that one? Whipped it out of the sky. Fridge can be turned off. Sink can be turned off. Alright, so we'll first shut the seacock, and we're going to turn the motor and the generator on just briefly, just to suck out and spit out all the salt water that's currently in the cooling system. Let's pop this puppy. Yeah.
Josh, brush up on the toes.
No, that's just sucking that dry. Good. Keep going. I didn't say stop, mate. Get that hoof working. Alright, so we're in the bathtub. This is the fastest tap running in the whole house, so that's what we're going to fill up in here. We've got the barnacle buster. So I've given both motors, like through the sea strainer, like there's been 10 litres of fresh water that's gone through the motor and the generator, so that should all be pretty flushed out with fresh. So I'll start putting the barnacle buster in now. It's a 4:1 ratio. Right. Stuff's expensive, so I don't really want to waste anything, so I want to get it perfect. Alright, so I'm going to turn the generator on.
Okay.
So you just want to watch the exhaust, and you'll start to see bubbles, like, you know, like a soap side come out. Then we know it's all the way through the system, we can turn the Jenny off.
Okay. Bubbles.
Bubbles. Ready? Alright, she's bubbling away, seems like it's doing something. Generator done. Now let's get it into the motor. Hopefully this does a pretty good job and cleans it all pretty good. It says to leave it overnight, because we're just leaving it in the system, we're not sort of running on a cycle. So we'll leave it overnight and we'll wash it with fresh water tomorrow morning. We're still puffing a little bit of smoke out of the motor. I do feel like there's more water coming out of the exhaust. I do think that's the case, and I also think the same for the generator. I reckon there's more water going through there, but until we put that under load, it's spewing, because I thought that white smoke was just gonna disappear. Another good point as well, I suppose, I haven't cleaned the bottom of the boat yet, so the intake is probably super barneyed as well. No, well, the generator is running colder. It's running a lot cooler. Maybe we turn the aircon on and stick it under load and see what it does. That's nice. It's a good feeling. There's some positiveness. It's time to see how many barnacles there actually are on the bottom of the boat. I had a quick dive on the prop and it's just a big ball of barnacle. But a little test that we did before we left was that I fully wrapped up the prop in plastic bags. It looks like all of these barnacles have just grown on top of the plastic bag, and hopefully, fingers crossed, that the prop's just going to be sweet. And when you get barnacles, you get little bugs. So when you're cleaning the bottom of your boat, you should wear a hood and stuff, but because there's so many barnacles, I know there's going to be so many bugs, I'm going to cover up. I feel like I should put on a wetsuit, but I'm just going to wear a hood and hopefully I don't come out too itchy. Little bugs like to go into your ears. So you got to cover your ears. Cover every orifice basically, because you don't want bugs in your orifices. Dude, that is so gnarly and so thick.